Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of TechThatDoesn'tByte. I am Simon. And
I'm
joining me,
Jeff.
of course. Yeah, there we go, Jeff.
Hey-o.
Yeah.
How's it going, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Just been a nonstop party here at my house, let me tell you.
I've heard. So
yeah. Just having a good time with the COVID and all that good jazz. We're good. We're fine. Thank you, though. We're quarantining and isolating like we're supposed to be, so it's all good. We'll get over it probably no later than the end of November, we hope. We'll see how it goes. Sadly, no Thanksgiving with the family. Maybe that's a good thing. Who knows?
Yeah, it probably is. So in this video, what we want to do is, we get a lot of questions and comments to a lot of the other videos that we've been making, and we want to take the time to at least answer some of them. We try to answer them as much as we can, but they've been stacking up a lot, and we just haven't been able to, by the time we answer one, another one comes, and we just haven't been able to do as much as we like. So rather than doing it separately one at a time, we're just going to do the video. We're just going to talk about it and answer the questions.
Right.
It's a lot easier. And if you are watching, and hopefully this is one of the questions that we answer is yours. So if not, just hang tight. We'll try to get to those as well. It's just going to take
We'll get to you when you're ready there, buddy.
Yeah. We'll do our best. We'll do our best.
Yeah, we're trying to do our best here. Do our best. Hopefully, at least some of the questions we answer actually will help you overall, should that idea come to you. And I think one of them will probably do. At least one of the ones I've got will probably help with that.
Yeah.
But,
so let's get on to our first question.
Yes.
All right. So our first question is from a viewer named David. And it's a question that he has about capturing VHS from OBS. This is a video that I made for Windows users. And the question is, this is his question or comment. Hi, I have a question. Should I keep the color range and space on the original or change it to which specific? And I'm going to say this really depends your own preference. You could, if you want to change the color range, you're more than welcome to do that, on the original footage that you're capturing. But what I think is just basically just look at the footage first and see if you do need to change the color or the range of it. Usually it's really hard to really figure that out, because it really depends the quality of your footage already. You can have a VHS that's over 10 plus years old and they degrade. So it's I'm gonna leave that up to you. I would recommend that you look at the footage and you kind of see whether or not you think you need to change the color of it. No, obviously, however you're gonna play the video back, you're gonna play it on your laptop or your TV. The color might look a little bit different depending on the laptop you use, your TV. So if you're if you're using a Mac and you have a super Retina display, the color might look a little bit different. So
I'd imagine
it sounds
like you probably want to do samples or something like that, maybe of different ideas, if you're able to kind of do 10-second pieces or something like that, so you get a feel for what might be a good aesthetic for you. Also, it does probably depend on your video display of what you're going to play it on as well. Yeah. So there's a few ways to look at that.
Yeah, definitely. So at the end of the day, it's really up to you. Keep the original color or change the color if you like. All right. Thank you for the question, David. All right. Our second question is going to be Jeff.
All right. Well, I'm going to answer this one question from an Anthony Williams. And his question simply reads as, "Hello, sir. I have a question and need your help. I put a video from an iPhone in the playback and it worked fine, but it lost its audio halfway through once I put it in the video. How can I get that audio back?" Anthony, that is a great question. It's a little tough for me to answer that. My initial guess, based on what you've provided so far in this question, is that somehow the file itself became corrupted, or something didn't quite go right with your transfer of the file itself to your computer, or something along those lines. Probably what I would do if I had to go through this process is, assuming you're using a Windows, if you're using a Windows machine, you plug your iPhone into it, you should be able to browse your way to where the actual file is and download the file directly through the Windows Explorer interface. Now, if you have to go through a Mac in order to do that, that's fine. I'm sure there's a way to do that. Usually it pops up on its own, kind of brings its own software up to actually do that, which may or may not work for you in that regard. I mean, I'm an advanced user, so I tend to want to kind of get my fingers into it so I know exactly what I'm going after and obtaining the file. With Windows, it's pretty much default. You just plug it in, you can browse your way to wherever the file is located. Now, once I've got the file, the very first thing I would do is I would get whatever video player I've got, not VideoPad itself. I would use whatever your default video player is. It could be the default Windows setup. It could be Movie Magic, Movie Maker, or whatever else you've got.
Give VLC a try.
Or VLC is another one. Any kind of other video player, just a video player, and just play it and just see what happens. And I think that'll at least give you an idea as to whether or not the file itself is corrupted once it comes out of your iPhone. At that point, there's not much I could really do about that, or at least a VideoPad could do in an effort to resolve that. Now, if the file plays fine once you've pulled it off your phone and it's on your computer, the VideoPad just isn't rendering it. I'm not even sure what to tell you about that. You may need to just update the program itself. Maybe there's some driver within it that actually fixes that, or you may need to contact them directly to actually resolve that particular issue. That's an unusual one that it would drop off like that. To me, it just sounds like a file corruption, but again, there's not enough details for me to kind of guess what's happening here. But that's what I would do, is just pull the file out directly, put it on your computer, see if it plays on its own.
One other thing I could recommend, if the file transfer using Windows Explorer doesn't work, what you could do is, if you're on an iPhone, if you have an iCloud account, you can just upload it to iCloud first. And then on Windows, you can actually download the iCloud Manager from Apple. And then I believe it's basically an app that installs on your computer, and you can access your iCloud account. So anything that you might have shared in your files area. So maybe you want to upload it that way if the Windows Explorer transfer doesn't work at first. So that's another option. You give that a try.
Right. The idea being is just see if you can actually not play it on your iPhone. Once you pull it off there, see if it just plays with a regular video player of your choosing. That will at least give you an idea of whether the file is corrupted in itself just coming off the iPhone. Then you could maybe that'll solve the problem when you put it into VideoPad to make whatever edits you want to do. Maybe that's just what it needs, is just to get out of there individually on its own and play it. Yeah. And then you can edit it.
I will also try like other video editors too. See if it works on their software as well. If it doesn't work on their software, then it's probably something wrong with the video that you're trying to edit.
Right. That's exactly, if you got multiple players or editors, that aren't playing the file or not properly editing the file or whatever, then obviously it's the file itself. Not much you can really do about that. Something obviously went wrong with the transfer recording. Something obviously in the device itself, for whatever reason, it just didn't format it correctly, whatever it might be.
Yeah. All right, good one. And just let everyone know that question is for a video that Jeff did on VideoPad.
Right on. It's basically about adding overlays and whatnot. But in particular, but obviously the video editing software of VideoPad has a lot of video and audio options that you can record and edit and all that good stuff. So it's, even though it's on that particular video file, obviously VideoPad's a really good program in and of itself that does a lot of really special, fun things that you can do with it. So I really enjoy using it myself.
Yeah, and the next question, I believe, is the same one. Am I correct?
It would be for the same video for adding overlays, and it's actually an overlay question. This is from a user named Reality Revolution, and it simply asks, how can I change the angles of overlay? I had to look into this one myself because I had not tried it, but the short answer is, in the video itself, it actually talks about how you need to resize the image so that it'll fit right in whatever you want to do it. As well as where you want to position the overlay image. So if I want to have an image show up like right here where my hand is and whatnot, and it happens to cover the entire screen, I would need to select the FX option for that image in the video bar so that I can then resize it to something smaller and then position it to where I want to position it. There's a third option. Actually, there are a number of different options. One of them is called rotation. And rotation will basically allow you to rotate it whichever way you want to do it. So if you want it this way or that way or whichever way you want to do it. The trick with the rotation option is that it does it on a 360 degree designation. It does not do negative. So if you want to have it turn, so if this is like 0 and you want to turn this way, you need to pick like angle 315 as opposed to like -45 to give you an idea as to which way you're actually going to set this up. So, and you can just toy around with it. Once you actually pick the angle, it'll do it for you until you like where it is, and then you can reposition it and save it and pretty much do the same thing that the video tells you to do. You can just add rotation as another special effect for it.
Good answer, Jeff.
Yeah. Why? Thank you. Good. Hey.
So thank you guys for sending those 2 questions.
Yep. Thank you very much, guys.
Appreciate it. So let's move on to our next one. And next one is for a video that I previously did for Tello. And the question is from Fahim Hamadani.
I'll go with that.
Yeah. So,
and if that isn't right, we're sorry.
We apologize in advance.
We're sorry. It looks right. Let us know otherwise.
Yeah. So the question is, I'm a Cricket user. Can I switch this network and keep my same number? Thank you. The answer is yes, you can switch to the network and keep the same number. If you do decide to move to Tello, all you need to do is provide Tello the account information from your Cricket account. Usually it's the account number and also a port out pin. You're probably gonna have to contact Cricket to get those information. But when you're signing up for Tello and you're putting in your number, they're just gonna ask you for that information. And usually it should take, kind of really depends on the carriers itself and these MVNO carriers. Most of the time I've done porting, took me maybe about 30 minutes for it to complete, but I've seen it where just recently I'm testing out another MVNO carrier. That one took like 2 days.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a little time for it to do the process. One thing you do remember is that, you're kind of moving from, a Cricket prepaid service, which is owned by AT&T. So Cricket is using AT&T towers. And remember that Tello is a T-Mobile MVNO, so it's going to use T-Mobile network. So just letting you know that. So you're going to have a difference, maybe not in coverage, if you live in a very high dense area, then it should be okay.
That makes sense, yeah.
But, if you had never have used T-Mobile network before, that's something you want to be aware of. If you're moving from like Cricket to another AT&T MVNO, then shouldn't be any issues. So,
I agree. Yeah, it's like you're making a lateral move as opposed to like jumping to obviously to a completely different network. So yeah, the amount of time it could take can certainly be a problem. The good part is you can keep your number, and that's the cool part about that. I think that's an important deal. You
could definitely keep your number just as long as you have the port out information from your current carrier. And one thing is, don't cancel before you port out.
Yeah.
Don't cancel the service with your current service, which is Cricket. Don't cancel that yet until you port it out. Because if you cancel Cricket first before you've done the port out, then you're going to lose your numbers. So I'm going to say it again. Do not cancel your Cricket account before you port out. Okay? Do not do that.
Right. Yeah. Bad idea. Don't do it.
Yeah. And that applies to every single other carrier too. If you're planning on port out, don't cancel the account, your current account. All right. So that's a golden rule for everything that phone related.
You might deal with a little double billing. You know what? Suck it up, deal with it. Don't cancel until you're ported over, and then you're good. Then cancel away and have a good time. But don't do it until you're done.
Exactly. So thank you so much for that question.
Thank you, Fahim.
And our next question is, if I was more prepared, I could throw this out a lot faster.
So great if you were, I'd tell you.
So our next question is about DVDstyler, the video that we made about how to burn a DVD in 2021, because, I'm sure a lot of people forgot how to do it. Just like myself. That's why I made that video.
I haven't done anything like that in a long while. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is the guy who doesn't have USB 3.0.
Stop making fun of me about that, man. God. Jeez.
So the question is, this is from Reza Septa. Again, I apologize. We apologize if we mispronounce your names.
Reza Septa. I'll go with that.
So the question is, he says that how to solve failed Mine is not successful. Please help. So I'm going to assume that, just going off the question, that the burn failed. The DVD burning process failed. My question is, was there an error message? I know DVDstyler is, it's an open source, free software, so it could be a little buggy. First thing I would do is restart the program, and, hopefully you already saved the profile, the template that you kind of already built upon, so you could just relaunch that and give it another shot. Now you're going to be, to really troubleshoot this, you're going to have to waste a couple of DVDs, blank DVDs. I'm sorry to say that, but that's the only way to really troubleshoot this.
I'm wasting plastic. Oh God. Sorry, go on.
Next thing you want to do is on your burner, probably in DVDstyler, there should be a way for you to set the burn speed. So you don't want to set it too high. You want to set it a little bit like somewhere in the middle, because I've seen it before in the past where if I set my burn speed to maximum level, there's always problems for some reason. So that was back then. That was a long time ago, but things might have changed recently. Not recently, but more recently. So
more recently, yeah.
But change the burn speed, something a little bit lower, not too high, but not too slow either, because you don't want to wait forever for that to finish. So definitely change it like somewhere in the middle. Next thing I will check is the blank media that you're using. The DVDR, is it a bad DVDR? Because some blank media, when you first try to use it, it's a lemon. It doesn't work. It doesn't work well. So
it sounds like a bad batch you might have picked up.
Yeah, a bad batch or a bad brand. That's been my experience back in the old days. So I'm pretty sure it's still current. I'm trying to think of like other DVDR brands. I mean,
yeah, I could
so long.
Yeah,
time.
I couldn't tell you myself. I mean, I still actually still have a stack I bought like years ago. Still works, so I don't have an issue with it. And they would work when I would burn DVDs or even CDs themselves. So I know they work, but I haven't done it in a while. But so I still have that original stack from like a 50 I bought like a bunch of years back.
Yeah, like the last brand I bought was Verbatim.
Oh yeah, Verbatim. Yeah. Oh man, I forgot about those guys.
Yeah, last brand I bought was Verbatim. I don't know if they still make blank DVDs, but
now you got me all curious.
It's but the thing is, like, the Verbatim blank CDs or blank DVDs that I bought, they have problems. And I was trying to use it with my burner, so it's like, kind of look at different brands and see, what current brands out there that are pretty well known that you could get those blank DVDs. And
apparently Verbatim is still around. I saw their website.
They're still around, but I don't know if they're still making blank media.
I think they are. Just Google search seemed to indicate that they probably still are. So, yay.
So, feel free to leave another comment to kind of give us more details about what exactly failed.
Error messages are always a big one.
Yeah, error messages work. And also check out, their support page as well, because, I'm pretty sure last time I checked, there were some just like forum discussion areas, not too active, but if you have the same problem and you know what it was, you could definitely check with them and see if other users have it.
Right.
So hopefully that will lead you to the right direction and get that problem fixed.
Yeah. Hope that works out for you.
Yep. And let's move on to our next question.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. And our next question will be number 5. This is a question about OBS, capturing VHS again. Mm-hmm. This is be part 2 of that series. So this is from Laura. Thank you for the question. Audio is seriously lagging the video. Can this be fixed in the recorded file? It actually can be fixed before you hit record, actually. So in the advanced audio properties, you pick the audio source, which is the VHS capture device that you're using. You pick the audio source right there, and then you go to the advanced property within it. You should be able to play around with the audio off sync. So, you type in a couple like 100 milliseconds or like play around with the numbers, and the audio and video should align with each other. It's going to be different for every video that you capture if you do see like audio lagging. So play around with the audio off sync. Now, if you don't want to recapture the video, what you can do is use a video editor, place that video in, and then move the audio track, kind of align with, when that person that video speaks or whatever the music does. You could do that, but just be careful that once you do it, you got to re-export the video, so you might lose a little bit of quality.
Right. Yeah. VideoPad is actually a prime piece of software to use for that sort of thing. It's got video and audio tracks. So it should actually break that apart for you.
VideoPad, OpenShot.
Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of them.
iMovie.
A bunch of them out there do that.
Yeah. To do the, properly sync it up for you. But, if that's the second option, if you don't want to re-record what you already did or recapture what you already did. But if you're up to recapturing it again, then what you could do is, again, go to the advanced properties of your mic input, which is the the video capture device, and play around with the audio off sync.
One question: would the speed of the computer have anything to do with the audio lag? Possibly. Could
possibly.
Okay.
That's another thing too. Look into your OBS settings and play around with the video output. The video output, the bit rate. So depending on how fast your computer is, if you set that bit rate a little bit too high, then your computer could definitely lag. No.
Right. So you might have the hardware to do it, and that's kind of a big thing. But if you got a decent machine, in theory, it's not a problem. That's really what I'm asking.
Yeah. So definitely check that part out too. If the audio off sync after you play around with it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So those are two things I would recommend looking at first.
Right on.
All right. And thank you for that question. And our final question is actually a email. And this is, again, another question about capturing VHS on OBS.
It's so popular. My God, Simon.
Yeah, it's a popular video. So let's look at this question. I think his name is Davey. So thank you for the question. So here it is. Hi. Have just seen your video about using the OBS Studios for downloading VHS videos to my laptop. It helped me a lot, and the video is great, but I need, if possible, your help to solve a problem. I have a USB video capture iGrabber Live from my GICA cable that I use. So the iGrabber is basically one of those video capture devices that you've seen a lot, different brands. After having done everything what you told to do, installing OBS, everything worked. I saw the video and sound on my laptop, recorded the video, and the result. Oh, sorry, I just lost that question.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and the result was that on my desktop, the video had sound, everything was perfect. After recording a few video VHS cassettes, suddenly I don't hear anything on my laptop. I have image, but no sound. The final solution after recording it is okay. When I check the recording, I have sound and image. It is only when I see the image on my laptop while recording that suddenly I don't have sound. I have closed all the programs, opened again, did everything possible, but no results. I hope you understand my problem, and more, I hope you can help me solve it. Thanks in advance.
No, we can't help you. Sorry. Move on. Next. No, I'm joking.
No, he's joking. So what I'm thinking is that during the process when you're capturing VHS, you can actually see in the OBS window what you're capturing, because when you're capturing VHS, it's real time. So you basically had to sit there, press play, and then you basically see what you're going to capture. But he's saying that the image is not there anymore. No, but when he hits record and then he plays it back, once the recording is done, it works. But I believe from what I've seen in the question, he wants to be able to see what he's recording as well.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, it makes sense. Yeah, you probably want to see what's going on, I suppose. Or yeah, okay, I could see that.
So one thing I would check first is kind of see. I'm going to open up OBS here just to for reference, is your sources. They're not hidden. So when your sources, you can see that there's a little, let me share that with Jeff so I could, so he knows what is going on rather than like, oh, he's just talking. I don't know what his mumble jumble is.
That's true.
Okay. So what you see here is, in the sources area, you don't want this part you don't want to hide it. Okay, so check that. Make sure that it's visible. And what I also do is, I never seen this problem. I never had this problem before. So again, check some of your video settings as well. This part, it might not fix it, but just look at it and make sure you have everything all set up properly. Yeah. And what you want to do is, if it continues to be a problem, just go ahead, remove the original source, which is going to be your video capture device. That usually will be your video capture device. Remove that and try adding it again. See what happens when you add the source again. Yeah, so I would suggest, try removing the source first and then adding it back again. And possibly also reinstall OBS. As well.
That seems a little extreme that you would need to do something like that just for, But I get why you're saying it. Don't get me wrong.
I would say that's the last thing you want to do after you try that, adding sources. Also, I would say also check your cables. Check that as well.
Yeah.
Or try a different pair of cables. Try different pairs of AV cables.
Yeah. Or maybe if you have a different laptop, you could try this on to see if maybe it might be a hardware issue possibly. I mean, there's a lot of points of failure with when you're recording software, capturing stuff, that things can fail. So you got to kind of methodically go through all of it. It's the nature of tech support, if you want to think of it that way.
There's a lot of things that you will have to start off first, and
right.
First thing I would do is just remove the source first, re-add the video capture device, which is your iGrabber, re-add it back, make sure the source is not hidden. Okay, so check that. Next thing is, check the settings in OBS, make sure everything's looking good. And also, check your AV cables.
Yep.
And, last thing you'll do is, second to the last, I will say is, try on another computer if you do have one. Yeah. See if that problem exists in that computer with OBS on it.
Yeah, I think that'd probably be more telling options of whether that might be a hardware issue for sure. I mean, hopefully it wouldn't be, but
then if it doesn't happen on your second computer, but it happens on the main computer you're using, reinstall OBS. That's really the last thing I could recommend, is just reinstall OBS.
Right. Or make sure you at least got the latest and greatest drivers, versions, and all that good stuff. Same with your video card too, probably.
Yeah, thank you for reminding that. Check drivers. Now, maybe your specific video capture device needs a driver. Check the manufacturer's website. I know most of them don't need it. They should automatically just install drivers when you plug it in. But I've seen cases where some video capture device just would not register with Windows. They would actually have to physically find a driver that works. So every single brand, even though they all look alike for some reason, might have this issue for some reason.
Yeah.
So
true that.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. Everybody. Well, that does it for this week's Q&A, and we are going to try to maybe record more of these, because we have a lot of
people like to ask a lot of questions. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
and we just been having difficult time keeping it up, like responding one by one. And we just felt like it's just more easier to just do a video on this.
Right.
And, if you don't hear a response from us, like in the comments, we're not neglecting you. We're just having a hard time keeping up with everything we're trying to do. So,
yeah, we do get a lot.
Yeah. And on top, we're trying to do reviews and stuff like that. So you're going to hear back from us. It's just going to take some time.
And we appreciate the patience. Really.
Yes. Please be patient with us. He's not exactly young as he was.
I'm better looking than him.
Yeah. He's pointing the wrong way, but whatever.
No. That guy.
What guy?
And for me, it's this way. So
I was like, I don't know.
from my viewpoint, okay, fine. That guy over there, not so good looking.
He's like, do you have an imaginary friend, Jeff? I don't know what you're doing. Yeah. So please, be patient with us.
Yep.
We'll get there.
Yep. We always value your questions, value your input on a lot of things. And we appreciate your viewership very, very much.
Absolutely.
To which, please definitely visit our YouTube channel, like and subscribe to it, hit the little notifications button so you know that when we update stuff there. Come visit us at TechThatDoesn'tByte.com. You can learn more about us, links to reviews and other good stuff. God, what else we got going on there? All sorts of good stuff. Definitely leave feedback for us. We always love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, leave your comments. And again,
and definitely your questions.
Yeah.
And definitely your questions.
We see them. We read them. We just try to find the time.
It's a little tough to get to them. Yeah.
So
it's a little tough to get
to. We're doing our best, but we see them. Don't worry. We're not ignoring you. We see them. So
we love you, man. Really, we love you.
Thank you so much, everybody. We're going to catch you on the next Q&A episode. So stay safe, stay healthy. We'll catch everyone next time.
Take care, everybody.
Bye, everyone.